Hello everybody, Prime back here again. This is I don't know if this is going to be the final one or not because I've still not seen everything yet. But like at least for now, this is the best of the rest that I've seen. This is going to cover 5 games, starting with Star Fox Wii U. So Nintendo done their press conference thing, and all I was really interested in was just content for the Wii U because I don't have a 3DS. Some of the stuff that they showed for the 3DS was really cool in that, but I don't really, I just don't have a 3DS, so I wasn't really excited at all for any of it. But I was just waiting on anything at all for the Wii U because the Wii U is just sorely needing games, and this Star Fox Wii U is exactly what it needs. They never bothered showing off any Zelda or anything like that. We were hoping for a new Metroid Prime game or something like that, but nope, all we got was Star Fox for the Wii U. So, let's talk about it then. At least from what I remember anyway, it's not meant to be a prequel or sequel. It's meant to be like its own standalone thing that just kind of stands beside the other games in the series. They mentioned that the R-Wings are able to transform. You could, one of them was it looked like a drone sort of thing. There was like a helicopter thing that can drop out a little robot. One of them was the tank, and the tank had a flying form or something like that. And the other one was it was like a boat or something. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember really. But one thing for sure though, the game looked really good. I'm just glad they never went like Star Fox Adventure style and had him just running about and everything. Like kind of like we've got enough games like that, eh? Like what we're needing is like a really cool sort of dogfighting style game. You fly down to the planet and start taking out all the bad guys with your spaceship. So and in that sense, it totally delivered. Like I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm not too sure about the gimmick with the, because it's different. It's different when you're playing on a 3DS because the 3DS both screens are deliberately inside your peripheral vision, whereas with the Wii U the controller and the screen on the controller and the screen on the TV are not within both views. You know what I mean? You'd have to actually hold the controller up underneath your TV in order to see both at the same time. So I'm not sure how it's going to work out with trying to do cockpit view with the aiming and all that sort of stuff with the actual controller. But again, the game itself looked really good though. In spite of me not being sure about that, game looked totally amazing. So and I've not played Star Fox Starwing, whatever it was, since the SNES. I remember seeing a bit of Lilac Wars on the Nintendo 64, but outside of that, nope, just the original Starwing on the SNES. So yeah, that was total Star Fox. I'm really excited for that. Hopefully they'll do something. They'll show off some Zelda or man, they really need to get a new Metroid Prime on the go. Because Metroid Prime games are just totally fantastic. Anyway, let's move on to the stuff that I'm excited for the SquareEnix thing. So, the 4 games that I liked from the SquareEnix conference thing was they had Just Cause 3. Just Cause 3 looks totally amazing. It looks chaotic. It's one of these games that I shouldn't like, but I just can't help it because it's just crazy fun, I'm not into sort of that whole hoorah military thing, explosions everywhere. Yeah, that makes a good game. Nah, it doesn't. But I'll make an exception when it comes to Just Cause because the explosions are not the main attraction. It's the fun that you're having in that game. There's so much things to do, so much just chaos you can cause, and just the setups that you can make. You could set all this chaos up in advance, sort of. Not I don't mean placing mines and all that. I think you could do that anyway, but I'm just talking about like you can plan it out all in your head, and you're like, right, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to like grapple over here, and then I'm going to like fly away for a few seconds, like and shoot them while I'm in the air with my with my parachute, and then I don't know, while the like I'm deliberately not going to mess with the helipad, so when the helicopter gets into the sky, I can totally take over the helicopter and things like that. All these things are possible within Just Cause. Like you just look at one of these like installations in the game where all the bad guys are like they're doing all their military like stuff and all that, and it's just you get entangled, you get like trapped in your own mind with kind of like what kind of stuff you can like pull off. Is this possible? Is this possible? And most of the time it is, like you just so much stuff, and the things that were shown in the trailer when they showed the gameplay, like entire bridges getting destroyed and things like that, like bridges that are actually like important, like a whole bridge. You've seen the whole bridge getting totally taken down, and like people are meant to be driving on that, But yeah, so like, yeah, that was Just Cause 3. I thought it looked really cool, and yeah. So moving on, they showed Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. It's just a small little snippet of gameplay. Looked pretty cool. Didn't grab my imagination as much as the initial trailer did. But that being said, there's like all this time to sort of like, I don't know, like you got all this sort of time to like a trailer doesn't really mean much, like and like showing like snippets of gameplay is out of context, you know what I mean? It doesn't give context to the whole thing. So like they were trying to explain that everything that you do, the decisions that you make in the game, affect not just the ending of the game, but the overall narrative. Like whatever you decide will change how things unfold playing the game. But you can't do that in like a little snippet trailer. It's all out of context. It's not there to show you the narrative. It's there to show you the kind of things you can do. So yeah, I was watching it and I was like, this looks really cool, and I can't wait to actually see what the narrative's like, But yeah, so that was Just Cause 3. I don't think this is going to be a long one this time. Like I'll probably be like maybe 15 minutes long or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm doing this deliberately out of order as well because I'm kind of trying to save the best for last. They showed Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was like, oh, that looks so good. See the face I'm making in that picture that you're looking at right now? I was just like, oh, look at that. Look at that. That looks so good. Oh, It looked scrumptious. It looked yummy. It looked, oh man. Like if you know anything about me at all, Persona and Kingdom Hearts are my two favorite like Japanese RPG series. Like again, like I didn't go into this much, but like I'm not really a Final Fantasy guy. I'm more like I describe myself as a Final Fantasy 7 guy. I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. I don't really like the Final Fantasy games except 7 because that was the first one that I played, and everything else has just kind of like disappointed me afterwards. They're just not up to par like compared to 7 for me, because that was the first one that I played and it was the one that like I remember the most. So, but Kingdom Hearts on the other hand, and like Persona on the other hand, are like, wow, they're fantastic. And Kingdom Hearts 3 just looks incredible. Like you've seen like parts of the trailer like where Sora jumps off a mountain and starts flying down. Like I don't mean literally flying, like he's not flying like Peter Pan flying, he's like flying like he's falling like really fast down this mountain. And like it looks like the areas that he's fallen past are places that you can go to. So this looks like the maps, like like in the original two Kingdom Hearts games, everything seemed kind of segmented off. It didn't like it felt like it was kind of boxed in. Things like the Mulan area, it was all in its own little like organized boxed segments. This doesn't seem like that. This seems like the areas that you get to play in are expansive. They're really big. They seem like, even if they are segmented, even if there is areas that go from one loading screen to another, and cut in half by a cutscene or something like that, it looks like at least the areas that you're running about in are really massive. So I'm really excited to see that, because that also gives you like a really good view into the worlds that are in like Disney films that you don't usually get to see because they're not games. So like they mentioned Frozen. I think it was Frozen, or was it Brave? I think it's Frozen. I think Frozen was one of the worlds that they mentioned that there's going to be in the next Kingdom Hearts game. So I know one of my friends is going to be like totally into that. Even if he never plays the game, he'll be like, "Oh, that's cool." But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 3 looked absolutely like, yeah, just keep making that game. I don't care about a release date yet. I've got too much to look forward to. You know, just keep working away and make that the best game you could possibly make, SquareEnix. I'm happy with that. It's looking great so far. I don't want you to come out like in about half a year's time and say, "Oh, it's coming out spring 2016." There's too much to buy like next year, okay? You could take a couple of years on this. I'm fine. I'm patient on that. You know, it's like Final Fantasy VII getting remade. I didn't care whether I got my hands on it. I just wanted to know that it was happening. You know, like I'm a patient guy, but I'm not patient when it comes to not knowing. You know, so like if they never mentioned Kingdom Hearts 3 or they never mentioned the remake of Final Fantasy VII, I'd be like, come on. But now that I know they're happening, I can wait forever. Like I'm happy to wait as long as it takes for these games to come out. Like I'm not even expecting the Final Fantasy VII remake to come out until the PlayStation 5. Like think about Final Fantasy versus 13. Like all that production time through the PlayStation 3, and then they changed it to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and called it Final Fantasy 15. You know, like it's on a completely different platform now. So like I'm kind of expecting the same for Final Fantasy VII, because that game is like massive, and it's not massive in the sense that like all the areas are totally huge and expansive in that. I'm just saying it's, in terms of its content, it was huge. There was so much in that game. Little side bits where you had to go and like find Yuffie and Vincent and all that. All these little things that didn't add necessarily to the narrative. Like it didn't really do anything to the narrative. The overall narrative was the same. It just added some new party members into the game and all that. And yeah, so like I'm happy to wait. You you keep working on Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 7 SquareEnix. I can wait as long as it needs now. Like I don't really care to have it in my hands until it's ready. So I'm happy with that. But finally, we come to NieR. They announced NieR, a new NieR game. Nearly like pretty much at the start. Like I think they showed like a couple of things, and then they said, "Here's like a trailer for something new that we've been working on," and they're working on a new NieR game. NieR was like a game on the PS3 that was. It was odd. It was a weird RPG because it used all these different kinds of elements. It used all these different kinds of gameplay styles. Like sometimes a dungeon would be completely in top-down view. Sometimes it would be a fully 3D like camera-controlled game. Like it just had all these like weird things, and it was almost like a jambalaya of all these different kinds of concepts within like the RPG genre. And yeah, I never completed it. It was really annoying because like I was so into it at one point. I was playing NieR for ages, and I really liked the story. I liked the characters. I didn't like the Americanized redesign of the main character. Didn't make sense to me that they'd done that. So I hope they don't do it for this next one. I hope they just keep it like a purely sort of Japanese centric kind of style. But yeah, man, like I loved NieR. Like I think I got to the overall in terms of the narrative, the second major chapter. So like some bad things happen, and then it's all like really dreary and sad for the next sort of segment. I got to there, and I just never went back to it. I think I got distracted with something else. But yeah, they showed a new NieR game, and like the thing is, right, is that I never even seen the title. Like I must have blinked and missed it or something like that. But I seen the character in the trailer, and I was like, I got up on the edge of my seat, and I was like, is this NieR? And then I went to Twitter and I typed in, it's a new NieR game, and then like just as I flicked back to the stream, uh, just as I flicked back to the stream, I seen like just like out the corner of my eye, just the word NieR, and it's like, so I called it before even the words came up. I was like, it's NieR, you know, like no way. So, but yeah, this game is getting developed of all people, like it's getting made by Platinum, who are doing quite a lot of flipping work for quite a lot of people nowadays. It's like almost like they get all the hard work that other people don't really want to get involved in. Like Activision's like, oh, we don't want to make a Transformers game anymore. Like, go and you make it. And they're like, all right. And they're like, well, Square Enix is kind of like, well, we're interested in making a new NieR game, but we don't really know what direction to go. Like, do you want to do it? And yeah, so it seems like Platinum are like doing quite a lot of stuff. Like I'm wondering how many teams they've got there and how big the actual company is, because that's really weird that they've kind of went that far with it. Like, are they not having, like, are they not getting spread too thin? Are they got enough like staff members to do all these different things at once? Like, do they own other smaller companies who Platinum are actually outsourcing to, and they sort of like strictly keep them to that Platinum kind of style of action and all that? I don't know, but anyway, that was at least for now. Like, this is like kind of just hot off the heels of the Square Enix, the Square Enix event that they held. So I'm just recording it like maybe about half an hour after it. I had to go like do some stuff, and but now I'm back recording this. So that was my best of the rest sort of kind of list. At least for now, anyway. There might be new things that get announced as the day sort of as the week sort of continues on. But at least for now, I think Square Enix's one was the last major sort of conference, and everything else is getting kind of shown on the show floor now. But yeah, if I hear any new news, and if I see any new trailers, I'll probably do another video or something like that. But yeah, so that was the best of the rest for E3 2015, guys. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye.